Paradise Production.
What's up? What's happening? Welcome back to another edition of the Minor League Take. And this week we got Josh Bissonette on the show. And for the first time ever, we have a sweet background. Thank you to my mom and dad for giving this to me for Christmas. Really excited. It looks so much better than I thought it was going to look. But yeah, here we go. It's starting to look, more and more official. But here we go. Josh Bissonette. Hope you guys enjoy. This week on the podcast, we got Dirty Kurt, the teammate of the year, the Baylor stud, the kid from Cali, the JUCO bandit, Josh Bissonette. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Great to have you on. You have had one hell of a ride this year. I remember talking to you when we first got to Altoona, and you were like, "Holy crap! Like I'm on a team that I play with on MLB The Show," and how excited you were. And I think we had a great year together. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. I mean, when you play MLB The Show, you see all those teams, the minor league teams, and for me, one of the first teams I ever used on MLB The Show was Altoona Curve, and just to know that I was going to play there this last season was kind of eye opening. But no, the whole experience was great. I had a super fun year, and it was pretty good being roommates with you on the road as well.
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah. But hey, let's start this, where we start with everybody on the podcast. Let's talk about what high school looked like for you out in California.
Yeah. So I went to Orange Lutheran High School. It's part of the Trinity League. It's a very elite league in Southern California. You got other schools like J. Sarah, Mater Dei, all these great schools. A lot of first rounders come out of that conference. So it was a lot of fun though. I mean, I had to work my butt off, didn't make varsity till junior year, but learned a lot of things along the way by seeing a lot of good players like Josh Morgan, even seeing Garrett Cole when I was in 8th grade, seeing him pitch a CIF championship game, or not a championship game, it was a playoff game. But even seeing
sick.
that, I knew
it's the same area that Cole's from.
Oh yeah, he went to the same high school.
Holy shit!
We never went at the same time.
You did tell me that one time.
Yeah, and he threw hard. Like he threw like 101, 102 in high school.
Dude, he was a first rounder out of high school when he told the Yankees he's not going to sign.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So no, but I mean that journey was good. Obviously very competitive in Southern California.
Yeah. I mean, for me growing up, like I would be like in the gym at like 16, 17, like working out and telling myself like, yo, I have so much more to go, because I would just think about all those kids in California, Texas, and Florida. And it's just like the advantage you guys have with just, such better baseball. Was it kind of intimidating growing up, or were you keeping stride with everybody along the way?
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't intimidated. I think growing up, you see a lot of really good players who have the hype and have the name. And, you obviously know that you have it within yourself too, but a lot of times people get overlooked, and that's just how it is. But especially in California and Texas and in Florida, where the weather is just way better, there's more opportunities. You can go do more things. There's obviously going to be a lot of really good competitive baseball anywhere you go. So I think for me growing up, it was obviously competitive and kind of intimidating, because it was like every time I got out there, I wanted to do something great and, make a name for myself. But I think that's what helped me kind of separate myself, was knowing that there are these guys on this level and I was kind of viewed over here. So I had to work my way up and do my thing. So it was good though.
Yeah. I mean, working your butt off is something that nobody's ever going to be able to take from you. And you definitely, put an emphasis on it. And it was a lot of fun to watch this year.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
So then what did the college recruiting process kind of look like for you? Because you are a JUCO guy, right?
I am not a JUCO guy. I was going to go to junior college. So so originally I committed to University of the Pacific in Northern California. And then their coaching staff got fired like a month and a half before I was supposed to go to school there.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, I wanted to go there because I had a good relationship with the coaching staff, felt like I was going to play. And when that happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna probably go to junior college. And lucky enough, I was doing this like infield workout, and Baylor was there, and they said, hey, we need we need like one infielder. So they ended up taking me
Yeah.
and went to Baylor for all 4 years.
Sweet. I don't know why I thought you went to, I guess maybe you told me that story once and I remembered it as you going to JUCO. But yeah, dude, yeah, you went to Baylor for 4 years.
Yeah.
And you showed up and you just worked your butt off from the start, right?
Yeah, I thought, obviously growing up in California and then leaving the state was intimidating and kind of scary, but going to Texas, you kind of realize that like the people out there are just so much, just so incredible. They're great and they love you. They want the best out of you. And out here, it's kind of like, it's hit or miss with some people because it's always a competition. But
yeah,
I think being out there in Texas and showing up there my freshman year, I really had to, take it up a notch with trying to work hard and try and play every day.
Yeah, I'd certainly say you did. Like, going to a D1 it's not something I did, and there's definitely a lot of benefits from it. And it's got to be sick to go to a place like Baylor too, where if you feel, would you say you felt a little bit like a celebrity going there? Because I don't know, I feel like everything's just bigger in Texas. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say I felt like a celebrity. But I did
going
feel
to a
like
place that everybody knows, like everyone in the country knows what Baylor is.
It's funny. Yeah. And that's true. I didn't realize that until I left. Like I didn't realize it until I left, because when you're there, you're so focused on just trying to do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, I think going to Baylor and being around just an environment where everybody's good at their craft. Doesn't matter what sport, we have a bunch of good sports that are really good at what they do at Baylor. But no, I thought it was, incredible. Everybody treated you with respect. I guess every time you'd go to a party, people would know that like, oh, that guy's on the baseball team, or, so I guess in that sense, you kind of felt like a celebrity, but
no, hey, I went to a D2 and it was like, oh, you're on the baseball team. Who cares? Like, it's not a big deal. Like it's not something you say to a girl at a party, because she's gonna be like, I don't care about that, dude.
Yeah.
But dude, you showed up, your freshman year was 2016, correct?
Yes. Yeah,
dude, you showed up and you played, you were a starter for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Like, I feel like at even a big school like that, like just showing up and being a freshman on the starting, like in the starting lineup every single day, that's huge. And it says a lot about you, the way you worked, in the fall. The coaches said, hey, this kid's ready to go. Let's put him in the lineup every day. What was that like?
Yeah, it was incredible. In my head, I was just thinking like, I'm trying to do what I can so I can play. Yeah. And for me, what I found would get me in the lineup was my defense. So, I played every day, but I hit 9th in the lineup. So it wasn't like I was a crazy power hitter my freshman year. So I had to do all the little things right to kind of be like the foundation in the lineup, even as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
But, just being a part of that team and being able to be on the field that early as a freshman and being able to play like every day, I think helped me grow up mentally. Like, so then every year from that point on, I kind of knew what to expect since I was thrown into the fire so early.
Yeah. I remember my freshman year, like getting a chance to start finally. And I was like, yo, holy crap, I am not ready for this, dude. Like, I felt like, do you feel overwhelmed too?
Yeah. I remember my first game I played, it was opening day and it was at home and I was at shortstop and I couldn't even see straight.
You started at shortstop your freshman year? Oh my God.
And I was freaking out because the stands, like going from high school to where there's maybe 1,000 fans if you're lucky,
Yeah.
And then you get to college and, your first game and you see all the fans, like you're not ready for it mentally. Like it was a lot to handle at first.
Dude, I bet, man. That sounds exciting though. How many fans were you guys getting usually?
Anywhere from 3,000 to when we'd play like TCU, we'd get like, over like 5,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's unreal.
And then I'll never forget when we played at Minute Maid Park for this college classic against LSU. That was insane.
Dude, that is nuts.
Yeah.
That has got to be special right there. Holy shit. Like, I've gotten lucky and played in front of, I think we were getting like 5,000-6,000 when I was in Greensboro in 19.
Oh yeah.
But doing that, like having all that come at you at, 19 years old, holy shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. You had to kind of grow up and figure it out somehow. But
God damn. Yeah, that's exciting. But dude, you played, like I said, dude, you started all 4 years. You slowly got a little bit better every single year with the numbers. Was there some big difference between each year, or was it just, staying, putting your nose down and just grinding the whole way through? Was that all it was for you, really?
I think so. I don't think my mindset really changed. I mean, I think once I got into my junior and senior year, subconsciously, I knew that I wanted to get drafted.
Yeah.
And so I knew what was going to get me drafted is if I tried to, put up some more power numbers and, kind of go along the route of trying to hit more doubles or more extra base hits. And, I just think all 4 years, I just wanted to play and win. And my mindset never really changed. Obviously, like, you have certain things you want to work on individually, but I'm such a team guy that I just want to win every game, and I get offended when we lose,
Yeah.
So that was just kind of my main focus. And I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed because I really wanted to get drafted after my junior year.
Yeah.
And when I had to come back from my senior year, I was a little bit salty because I was like, I want to play. But when I came back from my 4th year, I realized that was the best decision ever. And
that's great. What made you realize that?
Made me realize that, like, as a junior, yeah, you could get more money, you could do, you have more leverage or whatever. But looking back at it now and seeing how pro ball works, like, ultimately when you get drafted by a team, it's up to you to what kind of work you're going to put in to get promoted, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, like, seeing that and thinking like, okay, well, I got drafted as a 31st round senior, at the time I was like bummed because I'd rather get the more money. But now I'm like, dude, I just wish people would realize that, like, spending all 4 years at college is pretty nice.
No, it's special. I mean, you get the degree, which is fantastic, but it's more like those relationships you get to keep with the guys in your class specifically.
100%.
Like, I really, I was in Greensboro, and I remember sitting in the locker room, like, messing around with like Castro and Lolo and like those guys. And I'm sitting there and I look at Twitter, or I look at Instagram, and all of my friends are literally taking like their senior day, like, pictures and like posting it. And I'm like, what am I doing here, man? Like, I miss those guys so much. Like, part of me wishes I was able to go back for that senior year, but I mean, it's in the past now. You ultimately kind of, stick with the decisions you make. Right. But yeah, no, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about that stuff.
Sorry to make you sad.
No, you're good. But you said something, man, like the work, like the effort and like the work ethic you put in. I was thinking about this the other day in the gym. Do you feel like, I might even cut this part because I don't know if I want to be putting this out there, but I remember like being in the GCL in 2018 and like literally killing myself every single day to try to get out of there, like working myself that bad. And I don't know. Do you feel like the work ethic not falls off, but like diminishes a little bit?
Like, in what way?
Like, it's hard to stay that vigilant to like getting, like, trust me, I go to the gym every day. I do my throwing.
You're talking about now?
Yeah, I'm talking about now.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like, it works best for you because you're older now, right? Like, what are you, 26 or 25?
25, yeah.
Okay, so your body is much different than it was when you were in the GCL. I'm sure, like, I think it's more about effort and intent with what you do now rather than like how many times you're getting in the gym and how many things you're doing. Yeah. I think it's like if you're doing the right things with the right effort and intent and the right mindset to attack the day, even if it's not as much, I think that's just as beneficial. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Because there's no point in beating yourself up like in the gym 5 days a week and then leaving yourself tired when, like, yeah, you got strong, but like you don't have enough energy or things to do that you might need to better yourself, like on the field or somewhere else. It's true. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about it like Tom Brady, like, because Tom Brady's not like a super big guy, but he could play to 60. Yeah, he gets his stuff done. He's another level. I don't like Tom Brady. I really don't like him. Okay. And last week was just another reminder because the Jets were beating the Bucks. And of course, it's less than 2 minutes in the game. Brady's down by less than a touchdown, and he just walks straight down the goddamn field and scores again.
And dude, growing up, that's all I ever saw. So I get why people love him. I just don't like him because he's done that to me so many times in my life. Like, you get where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah, I do.
It's so frustrating. It's a Jets fan thing. It's my own fault. But yeah. All right. Well, let's get back on track. But yeah, dude. So like you were saying, you were getting draft interest going into junior year. When did all that stuff kind of start to happen? Because I remember when it happened for me, and it was like the most exciting thing. Like, it was just unbelievable, and I was so excited. When did that all start for you?
Yeah, that all started probably my summer, or I guess my sophomore year. I played in the Northwoods.
Yeah.
And that's like the first time after that season I got like some interest from some teams. Like, I got letters and stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. I'm looking at the numbers right now. You played 55 games at Baylor that spring, and then you played 60 that summer.
Oh,
at,
yeah.
Wilmar.
Yeah.
Dude,
There's
like,
no
what
breaks.
the hell?
No breaks. Yeah. And I got hurt after that too.
Oh,
so
shit.
it was like one of the only times I got hurt it was because I was lifting too much.
Oof.
So, but yeah, dude, sophomore year / junior year, I started talking to teams. Really thought I was going to get drafted my junior year. Super ready and prepared for that. And then it didn't happen. And then ended up getting the opportunity my senior year.
Did you go through draft day junior year thinking like you were going to go?
Absolutely.
Oh, God, man.
It was the worst, but
yeah. I mean,
it was the worst. And it was one of those things that my dad, he actually flew out to Texas because it was like we thought it was going to happen. And so he wanted to be there with me. And it was a huge mistake that we were just like sitting by the phone looking, like waiting, you know? But it was one of those things that it was like, oh man, it didn't happen. And it kind of fueled some more fire in me to do it the next year. Yeah. So it ended up working out.
Yeah, absolutely ended up working out. But that's still just got to be like, I felt so much stress when I was going through my draft day, and I was like certain I was getting picked. And it's like, I can't imagine what that's got to feel like, but I can imagine what the fire has got to, that fire that kicks on in you when that thing doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, did you just say screw it that summer and just started going off and just every day at the field, every day hitting?
Yeah, I think it was kind of like that day. It was like rubbing salt in the wound when I didn't get picked. It was kind of like, dang, that hurts. But the next day I kind of moved on. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. And that's the most important part of it.
Yeah. And that's like with anything in life, you can either give something too much power, or you can look at it and say, hey, this is an opportunity for me to, do something great. So,
yeah. Dude, perspective is everything. Perspective 100%. Is everything. If you can control your perspective, it's going to, just give you the ability to do the best thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But anyways, we move on, dude, go to your senior year. Did you guys, how competitive were you guys your senior year?
I mean, we were supposed to be like going to Omaha. That's how good our team was. Yeah.
What happened?
So we went to the UCLA regional and ended up going 1-2, but we went to a regional 3 out of my 4 years, which was fun. Yeah. But we couldn't win the first game. That's what we needed to do, was win the first game, and we couldn't do it. But no, I mean, we had great guys on our team. I mean, Shea Langoliers, I'm sure you've heard the name.
I've heard that name for sure.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in the big leagues next year with the Braves behind the plate. Davis Wenzel, Cody Bradford. I can think of so many good players on that team that are, we should have gone to Omaha, but we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think even playing in those regionals and everything was a lot of fun, kind of just getting that exposure.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's too bad you guys can, go anywhere with it. I'm kind of jealous you guys went to playoffs at all, dude. We were dead last every single year. We sucked. We were brutal.
Yeah.
But hey, man, the summer comes around, June comes around, and this time, you get picked by the Pirates. Dude, what was draft day like for you? Because it's like I said earlier, it was stressful as hell for me, but damn, did it feel good to finally get that monkey off my back?
It's actually pretty funny. So I was sitting by my phone,
Yeah.
and my signing scout called me in like the 20th round, and he said, "Hey, we're thinking about taking you, this, will you take it?" And I was like, "Phil, at this point, you're either going to pick me or you're not." I was pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, at this point, you're either going to pick me or you're not. Like, you know where I'm at. And then lucky enough, like I was actually sitting on the couch with my friends at Baylor, just like watching TV. And my buddy Jimmy goes, "Biz, let's go." And he was the one that first found out because he was looking at it on the thing.
Yeah, he was watching the tracker.
Yeah, on the tracker. And then that's when I got a call from Phil. And that was it.
Fuck
so.
Yeah. That's
very
awesome.
chill. It was a lot less stressful the second time going around because I was a little bit more mad rather than bummed out.
I gotcha.
So, nonetheless, it was a cool little experience, and it's funny how things work out.
And where was your dad? Was where again?
He was at home.
No, he was in Pittsburgh. You said.
Well, no. Wait, when I got drafted?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he put a lock.
Yeah,
on the
you
bridge.
told. I remember. I was like, dude, that's part of the story. Better be true.
Yeah, you're right. Because that's when he put a lock on the bridge.
Yeah. Which bridge again? The one right by the field.
Oh yeah, right there. It's like the first lock right next to the, like right when the bridge starts.
That's sick.
So,
Hopefully you get back there this year.
Oh, we'll see. I would love that.
Hopefully. But yeah, dude, you're all excited to play pro ball. Did you go to Pittsburgh?
I went to Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Yeah. You go to Pittsburgh, you sign, you're all excited. And then they ship you out and land in Bristol, Tennessee.
Yep.
Dude, what are your first impressions of Bristol? Because man, that place is something.
To be honest, I was very prepared for it because of the Northwoods.
True.
So a lot of people looked at it and they're like, "Man, what is this place? This isn't a baseball field." But, and I'll be honest, there were times where I was thinking the same things.
Yeah.
But, no, man, the Northwoods really prepared you for that kind of baseball. The rookie ball, low A baseball, because it's not the best facilities. But, I kind of looked at it as if, okay, well, this is where I'm going to play and I'm going to make the most of it. So.
Yeah. I remember, I was in the GCL for my first year and I remember getting to Bristol right at the end and was just at first so excited to just see lights on a field again. And then by like the third game, I was like, yeah, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah. But it was pretty brutal at times.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you got to remind yourself you're playing pro ball and you still got those fresh eyes on getting a paycheck for the first time in baseball and, cool jerseys and just like all of that. But looking back, man, how was that all like allowed to go down? Because that field was something.
Oh yeah, it was a brutal field. We actually found out like halfway through the season that the lights were like operating at like 50 or 60% of its strength. So like, and there was an issue because past like the fourth or fifth inning, like there'd be like 2 or 3 hits from each team, like if that.
Dude, oh Jesus.
And like we had outfielders losing the ball on the lights, like it's bad.
They're just running it at 50% to save a couple bucks.
Yeah. Seriously.
God, man. That is perfect. But dude, you guys were pretty good. Didn't you guys win? You guys got in the playoffs at least, right? Did you guys go the whole way?
We didn't go the whole way, but we were the first team since 2012 to make it to the playoffs.
God damn.
So it was good. And I know we were excited about that. I think we needed to go on like a little stretch at the end of the season to win some games, and we did it. Like we pushed through and made it, and it was a big deal. It was a lot of fun.
That's exciting. That's something I still haven't done. I really want to make, dude, I haven't played in a playoff game since like 2016 in summer ball.
Yeah.
And I miss that stuff, man, because I feel like when you get into those games, you can find that extra gear, find that extra level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a step up from just your regular Tuesday game,
Yeah.
Everybody knows it. So it's kind of like, how are certain people going to handle that adrenaline?
Yeah.
So
that's true. I mean, you guys had a pretty cool squad there, right? I mean, I know you guys had Tanaj, and it must have been something crazy to see him on the in that kind of a setting, but with his 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh yeah. I mean, in center field, there's no batter's eye, and there's a house that's literally painted white, like like you know,
Oh, up on the
here's where
hill.
the batter's eye would be.
Yeah,
The house
yeah.
is like right there, and it's just painted white, and you got cars driving by,
Oh my
and like
god.
there's so many distractions. And when you got Tanaj throwing 100, I mean, it
Yeah.
just looks like a shooting star coming out of his hands.
That's
So
that's a pretty good comparison. It's pretty good. That's awesome. But hey, dude, moving forward, we get into spring training of 2020, and I'm sure you're excited as hell to get going with the year, and we're all fired up. And then, the world just kind of just shuts off, and what's
yeah,
supposed to be 2 weeks turns into like a whole year. What'd you do for that whole quarantine?
it's a great question. I mean, a lot of stuff happened. I mean, I went home and I was like, dang, like, we don't have any idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think once I got home, I just tried to play as much golf as I could to get my mind off of it, because
Yeah.
it's like, well, I just did all that training and now the world's shutting down. So I'm just going to try to enjoy my life.
Mhm.
And, I found that happiness through golf, even though I find it through baseball, but it was like, it just kind of sucked to get that taken away from you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, probably the first 3-4 months I played a lot of golf, and then picked up a job with Postmates because we weren't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were getting paid a little bit, but it wasn't enough.
Extra money is always great.
Oh yeah. So I did Postmates, would obviously like hit and do as much stuff as we could, but California was so strict with the COVID
Dude,
rules.
you guys, I mean, you're down near LA, right?
Yeah, about an hour south.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah, you guys were just pretty strict down there for a long time.
Very strict. I mean, baseball fields were locked up. Like you had to hop the fence. Like,
damn.
Like they didn't want you out there.
Yeah. Jesus. But hey, man, at least you got some work in. You got to keep going a little bit. And you get into spring training in 2021, and you kind of find yourself, playing with the upper level guys, right?
Not at first.
Not at first. Okay, I missed the first week because I had Corona,
Yeah,
which was brutal timing. But yeah, at first you were with like the guys you're, close to your age, right?
yeah. I mean, actually, I was with guys that that were more like 19 to 21, with a couple guys that were like closer to my age.
Yeah.
And I had no idea I was going to go to AA.
Yeah.
To be honest, it just kind of, Kyron came up to me like a week before spring training ended, and he's like, "Hey, you're going to join a AA group. I think it's a good fit for you." I was like, "All right."
You're like, well, all right, sounds good.
Because in my brain, I was just competing for a spot anywhere to play.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, it was like, holy smokes, let's go. Like, this is awesome. Like, and it was nice to hear that, because you see how some players get treated with being a prospect, or, obviously they get the better opportunities, but to see that they're thinking beyond that, like if you're good or if you have talent and you're a good guy, they see beyond the first round or second round. It's just
they see past like any kind of a signing bonus someone might have gotten. They just see, gosh, a good dude. He's a great glove, and he's going to show up every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, was there a little bit of shock at first when they said, "Hey, you're getting on the plane, you're going to Altoona"? Were you like, holy shit? Like, what did it kind of feel like?
I mean, it didn't really hit me until I got on the plane. I was just kind of
taking off,
like,
holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I'm going to double A. Like, I'm going to be playing on the field where there's that roller coaster in right field.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up playing, those kind of thoughts kind of were going through my head when I was on the plane. But I think when I found out, like when the rosters came out about where everybody was going, I was more concerned about the guys that were let go, because it was like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like my brain initially went to the guys that were let go, because a lot of them were my buddies. And I was like, dang, man, like you start to think about the business side of it, and, it's just, that's how it is. But it didn't really hit me that I was going to go play until I was there. And it was cool.
Yeah.
But
that is a really crappy part of our business, and it's always going to be like that. There's nothing we really can do. And it's always a shame. And it's always, a little heartbreaking whenever you see your buddies get told they got to go home.
Yeah.
But on the less morbid side of things, though, I think we had a really special group over in Altoona. I mean, our minor leagues the whole way through, like low A won a championship. High A was in the championship. We didn't have the greatest in numbers, but dude, we know we have talent across the board. And when was it? I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Were you a little? I don't want to say intimidated, but were you a little like? Was a little eye opening when you got to Altoona and you saw the infielders that were there with, I mean, guys like Rodolfo Castro, power from both sides of the plate. O'Neal Cruz, the craziest power I've ever seen in a human being. And like Ji Hwan Bae, the fastest human I've ever seen. Like those three guys are all playing the infield there. And you're an infielder. What was, something, were you a little, I don't want to say intimidated, but I think you get what I'm trying to get at, right?
Yeah. No, I really wasn't. I was more just like, to be honest, I was there at first thinking, what am I doing here? Because if they got three absolute studs in the infield, not that I didn't think I was a stud, but it was like, well, am I going to get an opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
No, but if anything, I just like, I mean, I played with O'Neal Cruz on MLB The Show, so I knew that his power was ridiculous, right?
Wait,
I'd never seen him in person until I got to Double A, and when I get there, I'm like, holy smokes, that's O'Neal Cruz,
Yeah.
Like no part of me was like, oh god, that's O'Neal. I was like, yeah, that's O'Neal Cruz.
Like, oh, that's
this
him.
Is sick,
Yeah.
But no part of me was scared. If anything, I just wanted to be friends with them. I just wanted them to look at me and accept me just as much as I accept them. So
you wanted him to just look at you and go, "Momo huevo."
I wanted to look at me and go, "Hey man,
hey man,
hey man, come on man."
Dude, I'm excited for the world to get to know O'Neal Cruz a little bit because he is funny, man.
He's the one player that just like has absolutely blown me away with his talent.
Dude,
he's unbelievable.
Dude, he is one of 3 human beings to have an exit velo of 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
One of 3 human beings.
With a minor league baseball.
With a minor league baseball, it's not designed to go as far. Which I'm not excited for in the future because people already hit enough home runs off me. But Cruz at one point gets hurt. Castro goes to the big leagues. Bay gets hurt at one point too. And all of a sudden you find yourself playing, dude, damn near every single day, right?
Yeah, for the most part towards the end of the season, yeah. Yeah.
And it was crazy too. I remember early in the year, you made some insane play with your glove and like joking around. Like I took your face, photoshopped it onto Brooks Robinson with all the 14 golden gloves around him. And I was like, yo, just give him the golden glove right now. And before the end of the year, I was like tweeting it like every other day because you just kept on making insane plays, dude. That was, honest to God, that was one of my favorite parts of the summer.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. It's fun being able to do that because I knew that like I wasn't going to hit a ton of homers. I'm not going to, with the role that I had, I wasn't there to make a name with my bat.
Yeah.
So I just knew what I needed to do at the plate to help the team win, but being able to do all those cool things on the field and do that stuff made me feel like I was just in my own little world making those plays and stuff. And it felt comfortable. I never felt more comfortable playing baseball than I did this last year.
That's awesome.
With the team. I think I didn't have an issue with one person.
That's fantastic, dude.
Which is like hard.
Yeah. No, it's a long summer and we're around each other all year round. It's, especially like even me and you, like on the road, neither of us are ever really alone because we just go back to the hotel and we just hang out with each other again.
Right.
But yeah, man, it was there ever plays that you were making, like in the process of making, you were like, how the fuck did I just do that?
No.
To
be honest, no. Because like, and I know that might sound like, I don't know, cocky or whatever, but
no, I don't know. It's well deserved because of the plays we've all seen you make.
Well, I appreciate it. I think trying to say this in the most humble way possible, I try to see things happen before they happen.
Yeah.
So I just anticipate certain scenarios when I'm out there. And then when it does happen, I'm like, yes. Like when I'm trying to go get the ball, I'm like, yes, I want to do it.
Exactly what I thought of. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if anything, that's why, I try to keep my cool after I make a play because I don't want to be like, that's just not who I am.
Dude, usually if like I did that one time this year when I struck out somebody. I let myself actually get excited, and then the next guy hit a home run. So I've learned very quickly I can't let myself do that too much,
Yeah.
unless I know it's like my last batter. But hey, it happens. There's one thing that I definitely want to touch on. If you don't want to talk about it, no problem.
I don't care.
But I would, at one point in the year, you're not hitting all that great.
Right.
But then I remember talking to you one day and I was like, dude, you're hitting a lot better lately. Like, what did you change? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because that was sick to watch.
Yeah, I remember I was hitting about $150 going into July.
Yeah.
And, at that time I was playing maybe twice a week, 2-3 games a week. But then I remember I was like just watching a ton of videos of just big league hitters, and I was looking at what they're all doing right. And it was all rhythm and timing with them. And I think for me, I was thinking too much up here with like mechanics and all this stuff. And like at the end of the day, it's all about rhythm and timing. And so I tried to just simplify and, I don't know. Baseball is a weird game. You can look at the numbers and look at the batting average and be like, oh, that guy hit 300. He must be a great hitter. Right. But sometimes batting average is a luck stat.
Yeah. I mean, it honestly is.
So depending on how you look at it, I mean, you can determine a hitter by how good they are if you want to look at the numbers, but there's other things within the game that determines value within that. But anyways, for me, I try not to look at those numbers. And I think when I was hitting $150, I was knowing that I was hitting $150. And I was like, I got to change something. And so I just tried to just simplify it. And lucky enough, I was able to get in the lineup more. So I think having more opportunities, seeing more pitches helped me out too.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I feel like your batting average jumped like 100 points, like in that span, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was, dude, nice. It was sick. It was a lot of fun to watch.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I was happy about it just because I was getting a little upset there for a while. I was like, I got to start hitting better. But
yeah, I mean, those times though, when you're in the minors and you start to get down on yourself, like the guys that can pull through and keep on pushing and keep on drive themselves because they know what's there at the end of the tunnel. Like those are the guys that I think, are special and have the chance to do something truly great in this game.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, man, I think this year was a success. I think it was a lot of fun. What are you looking forward to next year?
I'm just looking forward to playing again and getting back into that routine of playing 6 times a week and just being with the group and just trying to win and compete. I mean, I think our organization has so many good things coming.
Dude, it's scary.
And nobody really realizes it. Like
nobody. I keep on telling everyone, like, yo, it's going to be a problem. We're going to be a problem for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Kudos to the front office, everybody. Like, I just feel like the organization has a lot of things to look forward to.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to wrap up right here. The last 2 questions I like to ask everybody. What year do you think me, you, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are winning the World Series?
What year?
What year we win it all?
2024.
24?
Yeah.
I gotta say 25, but hey, I would love to do it in 24. 24
or 25 would be great.
Hell yeah. Why not both?
Yeah, we could do both.
We'll do both. All right. And then the last question I like to ask everybody, if you can go back in time to 16-year-old Josh Bissonette, what's some advice you would give him?
I would tell him to not compare your talents or your numbers to another player.
Yeah.
Because baseball can be a comparison game when you start getting envious of like another person that's at your position.
Mm-hmm.
I know 16-year-old me, I was always thinking like, oh, I'm better than this shortstop. How come, I'm not doing this? And they're not looking at me this way. I think that's when I got caught up in the comparison game of trying to be better than that shortstop at the time, instead of just focusing on Josh Bissonette and being the best player I could be, and only focusing on what's ahead of me, not around me.
Dude, that's really well said. That's really, really well said. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
I think that's it. I think we're good.
Sweet, man. Where can everyone find you on social media?
You can go on Instagram, Twitter, just Josh Bissonette. I think my name on Twitter has an underscore, but
All right. Yeah. People will find you.
yeah,
Thanks again for coming on, man.
of course. Thanks for having me, Brad.